Once upon a time, nestled in the shadow of a great mountain, lived a humble stonecutter. His name was Kenji. Every day, from sunrise to sunset, he toiled, chipping away at the hard rock. His hands were calloused, his back ached, but his spirit was strong. He was content, for a time. One sweltering afternoon, while working under the blazing sun, he saw a grand procession making its way through the village. At its heart was a powerful prince, carried in an ornate palanquin, shaded by a golden parasol. Servants fanned him, and soldiers cleared his path. Kenji watched, sweat dripping from his brow, and a thought sparked in his mind. How wonderful it must be to be a prince, he sighed. No hard labor, no scorching sun. I wish I were a prince. And just like that, a strange feeling washed over him. The chisel fell from his hand. He looked down and saw not his worn tunic, but robes of fine silk. He was in a magnificent palace, servants at his beck and call. He was the prince. Kenji was overjoyed. He spent his days in luxury, never lifting a finger. One day, he decided to visit the village he once knew. As his palanquin moved through the streets, it paid it out. The sun beat down relentlessly. He felt its heat even through the silk curtains and the shade of his golden parasol. He looked up and saw the sun, a blazing orb in the sky, more powerful than any prince. It shone on everyone, rich and poor without distinction. The sun is mightier than a prince, Kenji thought. It can scorch the earth and parch the fields. I wish I were the sun. In a flash, his world changed again. He was no longer on the ground but high in the heavens, a searing bowl of fire. He was the sun. He felt an immense, unimaginable power. He could shine his light across the entire world. He could make flowers bloom and crops grow. He could also bring drought and burn the land. He reveled in this power, beaming down on the world below. But then, a dark cloud drifted in front of him, blocking his light. He tried to push it away with his rays, but the cloud was stubborn. It stood between him and the earth, casting a cool shadow. Kenji felt frustrated. This cloud defies my power. He fumed. It can obscure me completely and bring rain to the earth I wish to scorch. The cloud is mightier than the sun. I wish I were a cloud. Instantly, he transformed. He was no longer a fiery orb, but a vast, gray cloud, floating serenely in the sky. He could drift wherever he pleased, gathering moisture, becoming heavy with purpose. He could block the mighty sun and release life-giving rain upon the thirsty earth. He felt a different kind of power now, a power of change and nourishment. He poured rain upon the fields and watched them turn green. He drifted with the wind, soaring over valleys and mountains. Then, he felt a push. Something was resisting him, forcing him to change direction. It was the wind. No matter how he tried, he could not stand against the wind's invisible force. It pushed him across the sky, tore him into smaller wisps, and dictated his journey. The wind is stronger than a cloud, Kenji realized. It can move anything, even me. I wish I were the wind. And so, he became the wind. He was invisible, formless, yet immensely powerful. He howled through canyons, rustled the leaves in great forests, and created waves on the vast ocean. He could be a gentle breeze or a raging gale. He flew across the land, feeling an exhilarating freedom he had never known. Nothing could stop him, or so he thought. As he blew with all his might against a great mountain, he met an immovable object. It was a massive, silent rock, standing firm against his most powerful gusts. He pushed and pushed, but the rock did not yield. It simply stood there, ancient and unyielding, a testament to enduring strength. Kenji was in awe. This rock is mightier than the wind, he whispered. It withstands everything. I wish I were that rock. In a heartbeat, he was no longer the wind, but a gigantic slab of stone, part of the great mountain. He felt a deep, profound stillness. He felt the sun's warmth and the clouds' rain. He felt the wind's push, but it did not move him. He was solid, permanent, and strong. Centuries could pass, and he would remain. This, he thought, is true power, to simply be unshakable. He was content in his stony silence for what felt like an eternity. Then one day he felt a strange sensation, a sharp, rhythmic tapping at his base. Chip, chip. It was a persistent, irritating feeling. He looked down as much as a rock can look, and saw a small figure. It was a man holding a hammer and a chisel, patiently chipping away at him. The man was small, his tools simple, yet with every strike, a piece of him fell away. Kenji, the great rock, the unmovable object, was being changed, shaped by this tiny human. He felt his mighty form being reduced, bit by bit, and in that moment, a profound realization dawned on him. He had been a prince, the sun, a cloud, the wind, and a rock. He had sought power in all its forms, always believing something else was stronger. But now, he saw the truth. The humble stonecutter, with his simple tools and unwavering persistence, was shaping the very thing he believed to be the most powerful. I wish I were a stonecutter again, he thought, with a clarity he hadn't felt through all his transformations. And just like that, he was back. He was Kenji, standing on the mountainside, his own hammer and chisel in his hands. The sun was warm on his skin. A gentle breeze cooled his face. He looked at his calloused hands, at the rock before him, and smiled. He was no longer a prince, nor the sun, nor a cloud, nor the wind, nor a giant rock. He was simply himself, and for the first time, he understood that true strength and happiness didn't come from being something else. It came from embracing who you are, with all your skill, your work, and your own unique place in the world. He picked up his tools and, with a contented heart, began to chip away at the stone. Thank you so much for joining me for this story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like and consider subscribing for more tales that make you think. See you next time.